just, like postponed it. And so I started thinking of all the words that rhyme with what he said in here. He said, my life became rank, and I stank, and I had no money in the bank, and with my problem I couldn't be frank. You know what I mean? And my hopes sank, and nothing changed till God gave me a yank. I don't know how else to put it except for that. And most definitely, people who are dying of this disease, a lot of times they're quietly dying, and sometimes loudly so. I was one of the ones who was loudly, in the beginning I was loudly dying from it because I was getting into car wrecks. My name was in the paper when I didn't want it there. You know what I mean? My life had become a loud and obnoxious and, and just, it turned out to be bullshit. But in the beginning of the story where he mentions about going into the cocktail lounge and thinking that he discovered a new country, you know what I mean? Like an oasis. I can remember feeling that way until I realized that it was just a dream, and then things started turning on me, and then I couldn't wake up without getting high or getting drunk. Couldn't do it. And so I'm grateful that the program taught me what the truth was, because it's very important for this alcoholic and this addict to keep it and to try to share it to the best of my ability. And I know for a fact that I know that I used to believe lies, and I was dying when I believed lies. When I started believing a different truth, and I took it on as truth, then I started to live, and I'm grateful for that. But I think if it wasn't for these rooms and everybody in here, I would not have stayed, and I wouldn't have gotten well, because I would have went back out and thought I had to do it on my own. I needed to be around people that had gone through the same thing. I needed to be around my own kind, and so I'm grateful for that. That's all.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Chris, I'm not it.
Hi, Chris.
I think like a lot of people like fall into addiction or alcoholism, 'cause insecurities, not comfortable in your own skin, wanting to be different, wanting to be noticed, not wanting to be noticed. There's like all kind of reasons why I think people use. When I was younger, when I was like 15, 25 years ago, and I was introduced to alcohol and drugs, they made me feel cool. It wasn't thinking like this is bad. Like I was thinking like, oh man, if my mom knew I was on LSD right now, oh my God, she would not know what to think. But I don't know, like for years, the first probably 10, 15 years I used drugs, it was all about trying to learn who I was. I didn't look at it as like I was killing myself slowly, or like I figured I was opening realms of my brain that I couldn't have opened sober. And I did. I showed myself slowly over years that I'm pretty damaged mentally, insecure, a narcissist, all kind of things. It's like with drugs and alcohol, it's like a double-edged sword for me, because I know like I experienced things that I wouldn't have been able to experience sober through drugs and alcohol. And I also took shit to like extreme levels where I was in like an embarrassment, you know. When I was like in my late 20s, I'd be like blackout drunk at the bar, and people, like, if they knew that I was that drunk, it was almost like if you saw like a abandoned puppy on the street, you don't make eye contact with it. In my head, I thought everyone was just as like wasted as me. I'm like right up in people's faces. Like, there's an episode of Seinfeld where there's like a close talker. That's what I was. I didn't give anyone like space, man. I'm like right there, probably slobbering on them, you know. And the person I could be talking to could be sober as hell. But in my mind, I was thinking that they just, you know, funneled a 50 Jägermeister, and they were just as feeling numb as me, you know. I was very annoying. I wasn't mean. I never like would like try to fight anybody. It was almost like Otis the town drunk, pretty much. Or if you grew up in Osceola, there's a guy named Greasy Demko that everyone would call the town drunk, you know. He's sober now, I think. But when I grew up, he was like he just reminded me of like that character off of Andy Griffith, Otis. I don't know, but I've like found out like I did like I don't have any regrets for like anything that I did. I don't. I am like a firm believer in like everything happens for a reason, and you know I think I was supposed to like do all the things I did to maybe get me to where I'm at today, you know. Like he was saying about like having trouble like grasping the spirituality thing. Same here, you know.